training camp throughout the whole season. We stuck through everything. Adversity, we overcame a lot of adversity. But the most part, we stayed complacent, we stayed humble, and hard work paid off. But we still got a lot of business to go take care of.
The 8th seed, a team that was 2 games over 500 on the season. The Denver Nuggets, youngest in the NBA, have beaten the team with the best record in the NBA, the Seattle Supersonics.
I admire the man a lot, just from what he has done in his career. You don't find so many coaches like Lenny. And now I'm just glad that I'm going to be one of his players.
Antonio McDyess joined the Denver Nuggets and immediately became one of their leading scorers and rebounders. He was traded to Phoenix, and while he was away, Denver suffered its worst record in history. But now he's back, and he's hoping to turn the Nuggets into a winner again.
With the 5th pick in the 2002 NBA Draft, the Denver Nuggets select Nicholas Skidishvili from Tbilisi of the Republic of Georgia. The New York Knicks select Nene Hilario, who's going to go to Denver with Mark Jackson with the 7th pick, and the Knicks will get the 25th pick, and they'll get Antonio McDyess.
Very young basketball team, very inexperienced team that went into every game with absolutely very little chance, if no chance, to win. We need to be the most improved team in the league.
Again by Nene Hilario. And here's Hilario putting it on the floor, taking it all the way to the lid. How do you like that?
Pokes it away and takes off on the break. Does a little fake here, catches the defense napping.
Okay, thanks again, Mike. Now let's find out the real big winners tonight. The 3rd pick goes to the Denver Nuggets.
That means Cleveland or Memphis get number 1.
With the 3rd pick in the 2003 NBA Draft, the Denver Nuggets select Carmelo Anthony from Syracuse University.
A few players out here for Denver who I feel have revitalized their careers. One being Miller. His agent, in fact, made the statement he has not seen him play this hard or this well for at least 3 seasons now.
Is Carmelo the type of player on and off the floor that you can build a successful franchise around?
He's a tremendous young man besides being a great basketball player, and I think he's going to be a great addition to the NBA community and our community here in Denver.
Bucks and Nuggets. Nuggets running. John Barry, Andre Miller, one-hand pass. Chris Anderson throwing it down. Super pass. Great finish. Nuggets take care of business against the Bucks.
And never played more than 35 games in a season, and he was better by far after the All-Star game than before.
And he's been phenomenal, really. I don't think anybody, even including Denver's coaching staff, really knew how good this guy was going to be.
Final game 1 of the first round, the Denver Nuggets, who clinched on April 12th, will take on the Minnesota Timberwolves. And after the clinching victory and the celebration in the Denver locker room,
it's the red carpet treatment.
Forget about the move that got him to the baseline. The hesitation that froze Mark's blood.
Trying to get the ball from Carmelo Anthony and Andre Miller, a little push on the superstar, and some words exchanged. The Garnett tried to say, there's nothing to it. Cliff Saunders was saying, you know what? You never know what buttons you push in a situation like that.
The Denver Nuggets select Jameer Nelson from St. Joseph's University. The Denver Nuggets trade the rights to Jameer Nelson to the Orlando Magic.
I'm saying? We're playing well as a team. I'm just going out trying to be aggressive, man. I'm saying my shots, they're taking it. They're not attacking the rim. Teammates doing an extra job finding. I'm saying? I bring it every night, that physical presence. That's why they brought me here, I'm saying? So I do my job every night.
If you consider yourself a great player, then you should have one of them rings on. There's some people out there who had tremendous careers. When it all comes down to it, when people look back in the books and you don't have a world championship by your name, it don't mean nothing.
It's always tough to fire, a coach, and you never know if you're doing the right thing. Really felt that the team needed a change, and it was obviously tough with the injuries. But at this point, I felt that if we were going to, make a run from the playoffs, that we needed to do something.
Oliver Candy threw the first punch. Nene obviously retaliated, so they'll both be suspended. Both obviously ejected. Martin did a very good job getting Nene out of there. But you see a couple of punches thrown by Nene.
George Karl was hired as head coach of the Nuggets, returning to the NBA after nearly 2 years to take over a team that has failed to live up to lofty expectations. Interim coach Michael Cooper will stay on as an assistant.
My good friend Dr. Jack Ramsey on that shot. Racho with the 8-foot hooker.
There's another one.
Oh,
Carmelo.
The slammer jammer.
Back up to a 19-point.
Oh, love it.
Nugget lead.
At the beginning of the season, people failed to realize we was a top 3 or 4 team in the West. And we started off had a bad start. And George Karl came at the right time. That we turned everything around. And we did what we supposed to do at the beginning of the season, at the end of the season.
Having answered their early wake-up call from the Nuggets, Spurs went on to wrap up the series back home.
And the San Antonio Spurs will win 4 straight games to close out the Denver Nuggets and advance to the Western Conference semifinal.
Carmelo Anthony having the best season in his young NBA career.
He's been much more of a professional. He's gotten himself into shape. His body looks good. He's getting along with his coach. I think it transfers on to the court.
Denver has suffered with the same problems. Camby did not even suit up tonight. He'll miss about 3 more weeks. Kenyon Martin is day-to-day, and he went out with back spasms. There's Camby. Doesn't look as good to George Karl in street play.
We're tied at 96. Kenyon Martin to Melo. Melo shoots and scores! Carmelo Anthony hits with 9/10 of a second to go. Carmelo Anthony, what else you got?
They're making a high percentage of shots. It all starts with making stops and then going back to the transition. They got to make, again, he said this before, you've got to make a defensive commitment or, again, you will not win this game. He just told it straight out to them.
Nuggets trying to climb back in half number 2 without Kenyon Martin. Did not play due to recurring knee trouble.
Between the Nuggets and the Clippers, Carmelo Anthony's club in a 2-0 hole, playing again without the suspended Kenyon Martin.
It has been 30 years in 3 cities for the Clippers. Puts the period on the evening. The Clippers will advance to the second round of the NBA playoffs. The drought is over.
The Nuggets are parting ways with their general manager. Kiki Vandeweghe won't be the one fixing the Denver Nuggets this summer. Team owner Stan Kroenke said Friday that he's not going to extend his general manager's contract.
I sat back and watched LeBron in the first round and the second round. And I watched Dwayne Wade take his team to the finals, win the championship. All 3 of my years, I've lost in the first round. I got 3 wins in 3 years in the playoffs, which is kind of embarrassing.
A couple of years with New Orleans and had a good first year, but fell out of the rotation with Byron Scott last year. Came out here to Denver. He was traded to Chicago first and then here to Denver. But boy, those numbers jump out at you. 16.7 per game.
It's been pretty much a set lineup most of the year. The NBA's leading scorer, yes, even ahead of Allen Iverson, Carmelo Anthony at 31.5 points per game. George Karl in his 3rd year, 88 and 55 overall.
Oh, another punch is thrown. Anthony, and now Jeffrey's going at it. This is turning into some kind of disaster right now. If they don't hold on to some of these players, Jeffries needs to hold back. Marty Collins still going at Anthony.
I just felt that I deserved to be in a situation like this, being everything that I gave to Philadelphia, as far as my game's concerned. And I was just happy.
I have now inspired you to win your first NBA championship, but it ain't going to happen because you have lost all perspective on what it really takes to win at this level in this league. You wouldn't make Denver any better, and you might make Denver worse.
Iverson to Melo, alley-oop.
Oh! Woohoo! Memphis going to call a timeout on that one. This crowd, it just woke up the sleeping giant tonight.
And with Melo by his side, Iverson's days of being double-teamed should be behind him.
Melo's a guy that's... Offensively, the game is so easy to this kid. And I think AI just, he doesn't have to do it all.
And I think ultimately this season will determine whether or not Allen Iverson has a chance to compete and win at the highest level. Although those 2 guys have the talent to be good enough to help you win a championship, that entire team still is a work in progress.
Nugs won the first game, lost the next 4, and that is Marcus Camby. Before the game, being honored by NBA Commissioner David Stern, Defensive Player of the Year. Did you vote for him, Frank?
I didn't have a vote, but I would have voted for him. Denver has lost in the first round now 4 straight years.
And this is a team that went through so much this year with the suspensions and the addition of Allen Iverson, and they gelled late.
2 prolific scorers, a defensive player of the year in Marcus Camby, commitment to defense, and the Denver Nuggets are going to be a team to be reckoned with in the Western Conference.
They talk openly about winning a potential maybe 60 games during the regular season.
Iverson now with it for Denver. Got fouled and won. Wow.
That's knowing how to play. Allen Iverson was getting ready to pass the ball, and Anthony Carter in the corner wide open.
The Denver Nuggets started their season with one goal in mind. The first step on the championship journey ended this week as the Nuggets finished the regular season as the Western Conference's 8th seed with a record of 50-32.
When you have 2 great players on one team, and the only thing that they want to do is win, then we don't care about shots. With the best in the world, AI can score with the best in the world, and we're going to score points on the offensive end. As long as we do it on the defensive end, then nobody should question.
First 50-win team in NBA history to be swept in the first round. 5 straight seasons of being knocked out in the first round of the playoffs.
They admit that they've got to get better defensively, and then they get rid of the guy who was Defensive Player of the Year a couple of years ago. I mean, can this team succeed with the loss of Camby, knowing that they've got to play better defensively?
Nuggets forward Chris Anderson is known by one name, the Birdman, the NBA's second leading shot blocker, becoming the first player ever to come out of the NBA's developmental league back in 2001.
We got to get better defensively, and our chemistry has to get better offensively. I think we got a shot at, winning the championship. If everybody come out and play every game like it's our last, then we definitely have a shot at it.
Not every day an MVP gets traded for a finals MVP 1 week into the season, but on Monday, that's what happened. AI traded back to the East to the Pistons. In return, Nuggets get 2004 finals MVP Chauncey Billups and Antonio McDyess, a major shakeup.
The experience that Chauncey had, I can learn from him a lot. How to control the game when the game is close and not trying to go out there and shoot every time down the court, and the ball got to come to me. I think right now we have a real good chance of being a good team.
Got his rhythm going, and he's going to be sub 4. Certainly we'll have an exchange with the head coach and say, listen, I don't want to come out right now. Now, maybe not to the extent that Carmelo did. It sounds like he did cross a line where basically he said, I refuse to come out. I'm going back onto the court.
A crazy quarter for the Denver Nuggets and a historic one for Carmelo Anthony. 33 points in the quarter. That's a new franchise record. Melo's got 42 in the game.
A 121-63 decision in Game 4 for the Denver Nuggets. They take a 3-1 series lead, and we have witnessed history. Not since 1956.
Feels good, man. We worked so hard this season and the offseason to get to this point. We still got a lot of business to take care of, but we're going to soak this one in and celebrate this one. In the second half of the season, we turned our defense up. We made a commitment to buckle down on defense, and we did that this year. Training camp throughout the whole season, we stuck through everything. Adversity, we overcame a lot of adversity. But the most part, we stayed complacent, we stayed humble, and hard work paid off. But we still got a lot of business to go take care of.
Western Conference final is tied at 2 games each. Carmelo Anthony had his right ankle taped at halftime and also received fluids to help him deal with a stomach virus. Anthony missed his first 10 shots and finished 3 of 16 for 15 points.
Carmelo Anthony will walk off with the Nuggets again. 54 wins, tying a franchise high. He did not play well in the elimination game, nor did Chauncey Billups. The two of them most responsible for really what was a dream season for Denver.
They're actually going to move this pick, Ty Lawson, to the Denver Nuggets for a future pick that Charlotte owes to the Nuggets. So Ty Lawson will not be staying with the Minnesota Timberwolves.
You're an all-star, and you're with your teammate, Chauncey Billups.
Right.
You guys have a great record, but there's been so many injuries.
Right.
If y'all can stay healthy.
Sky's the limit. We've been dabbling with some injuries once we get our full team back. And it's a good time to get rest.
Rebound Millsap. Down. Pass. Melo! Oh, wow!
Now that was spectacular.
The Nuggets now have more to worry about besides a division title run. Head coach George Karl says he's been diagnosed with neck and throat cancer 5 years after he was treated for prostate cancer. The 58-year-old Karl says he started a 6-week treatment.
You can't stop the game. Well, they got to steal.
You can when the Nuggets get the ball.
Yeah, they actually played better defense, and wow, J.R. Smith is really looking at. Oh my God! They gave up a layup. They gave a layup on 4.
You know, I'm trying to do everything I can in my power to beat the Jazz, but at the end of the day, I need some help. I'm not sitting here pointing fingers at them, but you know, as a unit, we gotta do this together. I can't do it by myself.
8 years ago, I got the opportunity to be a scout here, and Mr. Kroenke gave me that to come back to this organization, and for him to give me a chance. I don't know anywhere else I'd have gotten a chance to be here.
How convinced are the Nuggets that Melo won't be a member of their roster this time next summer?
If he wanted to be in Denver, he obviously would have signed that extension, and he's a Nugget right now. There are no guarantees that he's going to be a Nugget in the future.
It's speculation because New Jersey has the trade assets that Denver's looking for, and Carmelo Anthony wants to be in New York. He was born in Brooklyn. New York right now is the only team that Carmelo would definitely re-sign with.
I'm here today. You know, whatever the future holds, it holds. I'm leaving my options open. At the end of the season, I sit down with my team, sit down with the Nuggets. We discuss it. It's been a long summer for me with all the speculations and rumors, and you know, I'm just excited to get back on the court tomorrow.
Denver's got issues. Carmelo Anthony is not happy. They are a team that's really in need of getting off to a good start, and if they don't, the Carmelo situation can really spiral. There's no guarantee that Denver's going to get as good a deal or as good an offer as they had with the 4-team trade that fell apart with New Jersey.
You know, it was a dream come true for myself. I'm ready to get down to business right now. You know, we got to gel. At the same time, we got to roll. You know, we got things to go out there and accomplish. We got goals to reach, and it starts now.
Part of this game is intensity and excitement and enthusiasm, and a part of team is a camaraderie and a togetherness. And I think we have time to get that stuff on the court, and also put a pretty good talent product on the court.
George Karl is out as head coach of the Denver Nuggets basketball team. 7 Sports says Coach Karl heard the news in a phone call with Josh Kroenke, and this comes as a shock to some after Karl earned NBA Coach of the Year honors.
It's over! At last, the long wait is over. After 47 years, the Denver Nuggets can finally call themselves NBA champions. The first title in franchise history.